Well, apparently Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively might be headed to a courtroom as soon as, I think, this year?
No.
Or next year, early next year?
March of 2026 is what a judge is speculating right now.
Which means we're going to be talking about this shenanigans for a long time. It's going to be in the blinds. Unless, of course, something happens to preclude a trial, but I wouldn't hold our breaths too hard. Although I do think, I don't know, my hope is that there's a settlement, but I kind of feel like at this point we're not headed in that direction.
For content purposes, we absolutely want a trial.
Sure, of course. We do want a trial, but man, waiting a year for it?
Filmed, please. We want to be in that courtroom.
Live?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, can we get press credentials now? Where do we...
Yes.
Could you imagine?
That'd be so cool.
Amazing. You guys want to do some blind items?
Let's do it, because I imagine there might be a whiff of Blake and Baldoni.
There normally are. They've been... Actually, ironically, did you hear... Let me just pull this back here.
No, it's fine.
We don't have a blind item, but speaking of a whiff of Blake, did you hear that story about her co-star from...
Oh, God. Okay. Yes. I'm so glad. So this is not coming up in the blinds?
This is not coming up in the blinds. Let's discuss this right now.
We don't know anything about
So
this.
the story I saw yesterday, and we'll be talking about it on our radio show later, but for the purposes of this YouTube experience, we have to talk about this now. Blake Lively allegedly was farting and burping on the set of Gossip Girl, such that everyone was aware of it. And we were told this by a woman who is now a social media star, aka like cook, right?
Marcella Rago is 37. She's got a popular Italian YouTube food series. She alleges that people were, her quote was, Blake was very unpleasant, would burp and fart between takes, and talk down to others on set.
She said it like she would do it such that she would make people feel as though they were grateful to smell her burps and farts.
The quote was, she would burp and fart in the middle of the set and act like we were lucky to be smelling her farts.
Okay, so now here's the blind or the sort of blind item territory about all of this. I went looking for this because the only places I first saw this were the Daily Mail, fine, somewhat credible in the sense that like they don't just post anything. I understand that you take that with a grain of salt, but the only other places that story showed up were like those websites that nobody ever references. Like there was one, oh God, what was it? Anyway, moral of the story is I thought, is this real? So then I went and Googled her TikTok account. And every time there were listings in Google for this video about Blake Lively farting on her TikTok. Yep. They're gone. And they were gone within hours of the story coming out, which made me wonder, did she get like a cease and desist, or did her publicist or somebody say, girl, do you really want to stir this pot?
All I know is that now that fecal matter has been involved, this is officially turned into Amber Heard and Johnny Depp all over again.
It's true.
Yeah.
Will we get a trial, and will that trial contain a story about Blake Lively farting on the set of Gossip Girl?
History repeats itself, I suppose.
And if you want the other side of blind items, we had no idea who this woman was until now. And I'm sure her views have skyrocketed. So there's plenty of reason for her to talk smack about.
Why do you think she pulled it down? Because I will say the Daily Mail was the only like reputable tabloid, using that term very loosely, that posted the story. Like a lot, page 6, or at least I hadn't seen yesterday. Do you think maybe somebody got to her?
Yeah, I would totally agree.
Yeah,
for sure. Maybe Taylor Swift called her or something.
Like Taylor's, oh my God.
I brought Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift with me to convince you to take these videos down.
Can you take the fart story down?
Let's now actually get to the blind items. As soon as you said get a whiff of Blake Lively, I just had to bring that story up. Thank you.
I'm so grateful. Thank you.
Let's go ahead and get into it today. This former A/A- list actress turned producer has not been spotted with her husband for months and months. It's because he's hanging out with a much younger woman. So we've got a former A-list and A-list actress turned producer. I'll say even more than producer. She did some other things as well that we've seen her on the television for. But a former A-list A/A- list actress turned producer, has not been spotted with her husband for months because he's hanging out with a younger woman.
A younger lady. And the lady is not of particular importance in the sense of this blind. Like, she's not a celebrity.
She is not. And in fact, he kind of is, but he, in the sake of this blind, really isn't a celebrity either.
Oh, okay.
He's more of just...
But he's a known quantity.
He's known just from the fact that he's married to this actress/producer.
Who's been producing lately?
I mean, when I think of actors, producers, I always think of Reese Witherspoon.
Sure.
But I don't
Wouldn't say
remember.
quite
She's
that.
dating. Isn't she dating that guy? They're not married, right? Or are they married?
Well, yeah, she left the dude. Now she's dating the other dude. Yeah.
This guy says the other dude.
Other women.
Who else has
Actor
been producing
producers.
lately? Angelina Jolie.
She's not married.
Exactly.
A minus. You said A minus list,
A/A- list. Now, I will say,
and you said former.
just from the acting standpoint, you might argue, though, she has popped up in some bigger roles, but there were some very big movies she was in. I will say many of her roles are of a comedic nature, and many of the projects she produces are of a comedic nature.
Oh, is this Amy Schumer?
It is not.
Good guess. I'm thinking of Melissa McCarthy.
Nope.
I'm thinking.
That guess would be closer because she has done, in addition to some comedic roles, she's also done some serious roles as well, but some pretty high profile comedic roles and also has been behind the scenes on some pretty big projects.
Wow.
I can't think of her name off the top of my head, but
What's the movie?
Did Pitch Perfect.
Oh, I can fill this in for you. Is this Anna Kendrick?
No.
No, it's and I've done this before with her.
You have?
I have forgotten her name. And her name is, she's hilarious.
Come on, you'll get there.
And she's
no
blonde.
whammies. No whammies. You'll get there.
She's blonde.
No whammies. No whammies. You'll get there.
I don't know what that means.
Big
Really?
butts. No whammies.
No whammies?
She hosts Press Your Luck.
She does? Okay, maybe we're not thinking of the same
No,
person.
you're thinking of the same person.
Oh. She hosts Press Your Luck?
I'm
This is
like
news to me.
90% sure.
Oh, got it. Elizabeth Banks.
There
Yes!
you go.
I did not know that she hosted Press
I'm
Your
like
Luck.
90% sure she does.
No, I mean, you're the game show expert, so I defer to you in this.
Yeah, she is. She hosts since 2019. She still hosts it. She hosts the ABC revival of the game show Press Your Luck. So no whammies, indeed. You guys got there. Nicely done. Let's fill in the blind item. According to those blind items, Elizabeth Banks has not been seen with her husband for months and months, and that is because he is hanging out with a much younger woman.
Interesting. Well, that's sad for her.
She is married to Max Handelman, which I guess is a sports writer and film producer. He's produced many of the films she's obviously worked on. They've produced
She's
them
worked
together.
on a lot of other big.
Mike,
big
I thought you
films.
said Max Kellerman for a second there. I went, wait, what?
No.
I would just a host for ESPN back in the day. Would have shocked me, though, to find out they were married, though.
They are not.
No.
Well, I hope for her sake that's not true unless she wants it to be true so she can move on. But,
There you go.
you know. Elizabeth Banks. I don't know why her name escapes me, but
I would say, though, you did a really good job on that one because I thought it might take you even longer than that. So nicely done.
Yes.
you know, sometimes.
Never underestimate it.
We move on and do
Mostly.
another one. This A-list celebrity hasn't been getting the attention she has been hoping for an upcoming project, despite the fact that the three-letter tabloid is on speed dial and has been pushing her so very hard. Don't worry, the next step is debuting the new man, and that'll be coming soon.
This TMZ and Jennifer Lopez.
I couldn't even get it repeated.
You can't even wait.
It is.
Good job.
Jennifer-
I did not have the J-Lo part.
Jennifer Lopez hasn't been getting the attention she has been hoping for her upcoming performance. You know what movie that is?
Unbreakable?
Nope.
Unbreakable.
Unstoppable.
Kimmy Schmidt.
Nope.
Schmidt. That I said Schmidt.
This is the
Did
other.
not sound like it.
This is me now again?
No, that's what she did. Wait, okay. Jennifer Lopez, film project,
The Kiss of the Spider Woman.
There you go.
Yeah.
which is why she wore that Spider-Woman outfit on somewhere recently.
Yeah.
That was an
A
ass.
spider web, right?
That was at Sundance.
Yeah.
Yes. Let's go. Let's dive into this for a second, but let me fill in the blind. Jennifer Lopez hasn't been getting the attention she has been hoping for Kiss of the Spider Woman. So she has the three-letter network TMZ on speed dial and has been pushing, and they've been pushing her so hard. But the next step is debuting a new man, and we'll be getting that very, very soon.
Is it going to be Kevin Costner?
I don't know about
I think
that.
that's just wishful thinking. Do you guys have a bet on? We've been talking about this repeatedly on the show with Dawn, who, by the way, will be back with us, and she is healthy and A-OK. People have reached out and asked, and thank you for your kind thoughts. She's great. She just is not going to be with us for a while, but we will keep you posted. But I just wanted to honor, because she is convinced that J-Lo is going to pick like an older rich guy. And I think she's going to go like younger, like unknown.
And I think she's getting back together with Ben Affleck somehow. I'm the only person that believes that,
What?
but why not?
You just pulled that out of your keys.
I did, right there, right down there.
Oh,
The most recent,
so specific.
the most recent
Brought it up.
betting odds we had were from last August, and Eminem was the favorite.
M&M? Mm-hmm. Plain or peanut?
Or
Oh, you mean the
Marshall.
artist?
Marshall Mathers.
I think she's more likely to date the actual candy.
yeah,
Tom Brady was also in the list of
Really?
potential.
he's single now.
I would pick Kevin Costner before I would pick Tom Brady.
Really?
You wouldn't?
No, I'd pick Tom Brady
Really?
over Kevin Costner. Yeah, he just became an owner of the Las Vegas Raiders. There's a lot of money coming in for
Okay.
Tom Brady. He's
That's
not
a
the
good
majority
point.
owner, but he's got a sliver.
Yeah.
That's good cash, especially with the Fox deal with him broadcasting too. I'm telling you.
The Weeknd also in the running, so we'll have to see.
The
I will
Weeknd?
just-
No, Abel. No.
I will just say, no, Jennifer, no.
That's true.
She's better than Abel. Let me just read the last 3 TMZ stories because it's
Okay, I want you to, this is what I was thinking of, and I want you to expound on this, because Mike has done the work when it comes to TMZ's relationship with J-Lo.
Every time there's a story about Ben that's a negative one, TMZ is usually the one to push it out. And then you Google Jennifer Lopez, and here are the last 4 stories. 4 stories ago was J-Lo eyeing $20 million mansion if the air's clear. Now, keep in mind, that's also apparently right next to where Ben Affleck lives. And if there's one person who uses home shopping to up her PR game, it's Jennifer Lopez. So that was one. Jennifer Lopez, are you green with envy? The star dazzles after a night of, or out after a day of house shopping. Then the next one is Jennifer Lopez impromptu performance at Sundance. It's her singing behind a DJing stand. And then the last story was Jennifer Lopez can't keep my eyes off you in a see-through gown butt hypnosis at Sundance.
Butt hypnosis.
Yes.
Is that a thing? They hypnotize your butt?
I think you get hypnotized by the butt, Bradley.
Oh,
That's
butt
that spider
hypnosis.
outfit you were talking about.
Got
where
it.
All of the butt was on display.
How about
So-
that butt?
TMZ is
Look
very
into
good
my
at
butt.
pumping up the Jennifer Lopez.
And
And
if you do the, the opposite, or I shouldn't say the opposite, but if you do the same thing with Ben Affleck, it's all Ben Affleck's got cops outside of his house. He's got
Right.
the FBI outside of his house.
He's
got the
yelling at
National Guard
paparazzi.
outside of his house.
So what does that tell us, kids? One gives all the information that TMZ wants, and the other one does not.
It tells you in that during that publicationship who was feeding stories to TMZ.
Yeah, for sure.
It was not Ben Affleck.
No.
That is
Yep,
for
that
sure.
block that Jenny grew up on was definitely in that 30-mile zone.
And are we
For
surprised
sure.
by any of it? She has been so focused on controlling the narrative about her career since the very beginning, which I don't begrudge her that, but it's clear.
All right, you guys got that one nicely done. Let's move on and do another one here. This former mostly TV A-list actress who we all watched fall out of the industry is now going to talk publicly about the predator who ruined her life.
Oh, great.
This former mostly TV A-list actress who we all watched fall out of the industry is now going to talk publicly about the predator who ruined her life.
Oh.
Mostly TV actress, so it's not like what's her name?
Cameron
Diaz.
Oh, Cameron Diaz, no.
Not Cameron Diaz, because she went away and has now come back.
Mostly in dramas?
Definitely not.
Mostly
Comedy.
in comedies.
Yep.
Okay.
So she was big in comedy. Was she at her height in like the early 2000s?
Yep.
Okay. Early 2000s comedy. Was The Predator like a co-star?
No. Although he did make appearances.
It's not the Napoleon, the Nickelodeon guy?
Yeah, it is.
Oh. So that means it's somebody from Nickelodeon. And that's like your generation.
It is.
Stormy.
Is this Amanda Bynes? There we go.
Oh, wow. There's a name we haven't gotten in the blinds in a while.
And of course, the Predator would be
Dan
Schneider
guy.
Yeah. Hopefully this is true. But according to the blind items, it is going to be Amanda Bynes finally talking about the Predator who ruined her life, a.k.a. Dan Snyder. So that's what the blind items are saying. We'll see.
Now, depending on where you got this blind, but I'm assuming it's where a lot of our blinds come from, I would put a lot of money on this particular blind, or at least believing in the credibility of it, because going all the way back, Enty Lawyer from Crazy Days and Nights had purportedly, if you listen to his side of the story, he had a relationship or was friendly with Amanda Bynes. I didn't mean relationship in like an intimate sense, but he knew and communicated with her on a regular basis. And so I would not be surprised if he had some sort of inside knowledge.
And in addition to that, because of probably that relationship, that is one area, and you can say what you want about NT Lawyer, about some of these Crazy Days and Nights, but there are areas of this very sick and twisted world we've been seeing lately that he's been out in front of, and that is one of them. Yeah. So we've been hearing about Dan Snyder and some of the other people and some of the other execs well before the Quiet on Set documentary hit, and this is one of the individuals who we're talking about.
I really need to watch that documentary. It's been on my list. Where can you watch it right now? Do you guys know?
It's Discover. It says ID. Yeah, it's a Discovery, I believe.
So hopefully it's on Max then.
So it should be on Max.
Okay,
yep.
I got to watch that because a lot of those shows were peak childhood for me. Drake and Josh, iCarly, The Amanda Show, all of that, all these things, and it's just eventually you got to face the music and realize, there's a lot of bad things that were going on behind the scenes of those shows that I enjoyed and loved. Yeah,
as a millennial, you'll go through the process that we Gen Xers had to go through with all of our beloved shows from our childhood, being the stories behind them coming out and realizing all of the things that I loved as a child were terrible.
Yeah. And I will just say, even if you're like, oh, that's gross, I don't want to hear those stories, seeing it and seeing how it played out and seeing the way that even the parents of these kids were looking the other direction and not catching these warning signs, I think it is something that just watching it is going to be a service to everybody.
Yeah,
because you need to be very vigilant when it comes to those sorts of things.
Oh, for sure.
It's horrific. Yeah. So, unfortunately, we've got a very similar blind. Unfortunately, in a similar story, this actress who had one huge year over 2 decades ago, one for a horror movie and another for an animated film, then ultimately crashed out of Hollywood, is set to tell all about what the disgraced producer did to her.
Oh, boy.
Disgraced producer is... It's not Diddy.
Yeah, it is.
Oh. But this is an actress.
It is an actress.
Okay.
She did a horror and an animated film.
I will just say, you're not going to come up with this name, but we can. It was one big year, 20 years ago. And this individual, this is kind of more of a fun fact for me. Obviously, not the context of the blind,
didn't know this,
but I did not realize this individual did these 2 roles in the same calendar year.
So 20 years ago, specifically 2005?
2002.
2002.
Yes.
Okay, so in 2002. So you're saying we're not going to get the name of the individual?
Probably not.
Okay.
But there was
we will know the
big horror movie.
Mm-hmm. Scream?
Nope.
Saw?
Nope. It shares kind of similar to what you just guessed. It's one, well, technically it's 2 words, but there's one.
The Ring? Who was in The Ring?
Her name?
Forget who was in The Ring.
That one lady with the long hair.
Know. Yeah. The girl from The Ring was Davy, or I think it's Davy Chase.
Okay.
Is how it's pronounced. She also voiced Lilo
Oh, okay.
which is pretty
Wow,
impressive
in the same year.
for a 2002. Yeah.
That's good range.
I did not realize that. That was the fun fact from this
So
blind.
she has a Diddy connection.
The rest of this blind is horrific, but we must talk about it. Unfortunately, in a similar story, Davy Chase, who had that one huge year in 2002 for horror movie The Ring and also Lilo and Stitch, but ultimately crashed out of Hollywood, is set to tell all about what the disgraced producer did to her. Now, when in 2002, there was an award show, and I don't know if it was Nickelodeon Choice, what it was for, but there was an award show, and a video resurfaced recently of Diddy asking if 13-year-old Davy Chase is going to the after party. When she said yes, he let out this very disturbing excitement, yeah.
Oh, God.
Now, again, is this blind item just piggybacking off of that horrific
Sure.
video that's resurfaced? Maybe, but according to the blind item, we might be hearing her side of that horrific
At the very
story.
least, that is gross.
It's
period.
disgusting.
awful.
The thing we actually know happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's hope it's not worse than that. But if it is, I hope that she does get the ability to tell her story.
100%. So there you go. We had to knock out the two disgusting ones right in the
Okay,
middle
good.
so we could
I
clean
need a
our
shower.
palate with something far better than that. Just
Is it?
cheating on your spouse.
Okay.
This married
Variety.
No big deal around here.
This married, aging, permanent A-list actor from multiple franchises has an assistant who does way more than just text and email for him.
I know.
What?
This married, aging, permanent A-list actor from multiple franchises has an assistant who does way more than just send texts and emails for him.
Multiple franchises. You said.
Uh-huh.
One of those franchises, Marvel.
Yes.
Is this better not be who I... It's not Han Solo, is it? Oh, man!
Those franchises include, but are not limited to, Marvel now, which is going to be happening very soon here, and then also Indiana Jones, and also Star Wars, Blade
Harrison.
Runner. According to the blind items, and again, now we can just laugh about good old-fashioned cheating, but
Hilarious.
It's hilarious.
according to the blind item, Harrison Ford has an assistant who does way more than just text and email for him.
Poor Ally McBeal.
I know. That's the sad part of this. Hope
Yeah.
that's not true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I am obsessed with him as an actor because this latest season of Shrinking,
Oh, yes.
so good. In fact, the last episode, there's no spoilers, but he just gives this performance that is a side of Harrison Ford you're not used to seeing. It was incredible.
I do
So-
love that we've had a mini Harrison Ford renaissance in the last couple of years. Like,
Yeah.
he was doing media appearances basically saying, I don't want to be in movies anymore. I just want to retreat to Jackson Hole, Wyoming and be alone. And now we're seeing him do a lot of shows, seeing him be a part of Marvel movies and stuff. And I think that's what the people want. We want more Harrison Ford. Just stop cheating on your wife
Yeah.
with your sister.
Like a Harrisance
yeah.
or a Fordissance. Harrisance sounds like. Never mind.
Don't make him angry. You won't like him when he's angry.
He's going to turn red more than that Pixar movie.
There you go. All right, let's do another blind item here. Wrap it up with this one. Unfortunately, we got to go back to not the best area.
You promised us. We're done.
Can't we just talk about more cheating people?
Perhaps. A witness to everything this former superhero has done is now speaking to reporters for a very in-depth article, and it sounds like it's going to be a mind-blowing one.
Oh, former superhero.
Yep.
Marvel side?
No.
DC side?
Yep.
Okay.
Witness to everything this former superhero has done is going to be speaking out to a reporter for a very in-depth article for a publication, and it's going to be mind-blowing.
Is he British?
No.
Okay, good. Because I was thinking for a moment there, Henry Cavill, and I was praying that it wasn't.
Let me
So, yeah, was this person in the DC EU movies, DC Extended Universe movies? Okay.
Okay, put your superhero.
Put your
cap
nerd
on.
hat
Yeah,
on.
yeah. A superhero, he was a superhero, not a villain. Okay, gotcha. Well, let's go through the list.
Former.
How about let's go unique one. How about Black Adam, Dwayne The Rock Johnson? Okay. Ben Affleck, Batman. Who else?
When you say
Work your
former,
way around the Justice League.
Work my way. Oh, Jason Momoa, Aquaman. Oh, wow. Okay. The Ezra Miller Flash. Oh.
Yeah. According to the blind item, a witness to everything that Ezra Miller has done is now speaking to reporters for a very in-depth article that is going to be mind-blowing when it is released. So we'll have to see. There's been plenty of stories about Ezra Miller. And
yeah, I mean, there were literally stories in the lead up to the actual film, which didn't seem to bother anyone at the studio, but, you know.
But it did bother people who went to it or chose not to go to it because it was an absolute flop.
Absolute bomb. No matter what Tom Cruise said, people still didn't go to that movie.
Yeah.
We're still bitter.
It was an okay movie. It was all right.
Was it?
Yeah, the Michael Keaton scenes were fun where he was Batman again. It was enjoyable, but mostly it was
That's a lot.
movie. Yeah.
Well, Michael, you've done it again. You've taken us high and then low and then even lower than we thought possible. But you'll be back again tomorrow to do the very same thing as you are every Monday through Friday on MyTalk or wherever you get your podcasts. Download those and leave a review. Don't forget to tell your friends about it. And you can watch the whole thing unfold every single day on our YouTube where Michael is sticking out his tongue right now. It's called
Blinded by the Item.
Bye.
Blinded by the item.